My struggle before I started the program was probably the fact that I was trying to do everything myself. I was trying to do what I thought were the right things, to eat healthily. I think very quickly to start the program, realised that the energy I'd put in a certain one part of what I understand the program to be now, I probably wasn't doing what was best for myself in the long run. It wasn't forming good habits. Well, I hadn't exercised for a good couple of years because I had knee surgery, and as a result, since I'd had knee surgery, my weight had probably gone up, probably around about 4 stone. I think I'd almost used it as an excuse not to exercise, just because the surgeon had said, you'll never play football, you'll never go running, you can't put any impact on your knee, it's degenerate. So for me, it was almost, well, that's that then. That's the end of my years of exercise, so to speak. But eating healthily only, which my wife and I have focused on for the last few years, hasn't necessarily been a good plan without the exercise. And having now built in exercise back into a routine, you quickly realise that you need different facets. You can't just do it by diet alone. And this is about habit. This is not about me losing weight and putting it back on in 6 months or a year's time. This is about, my goal was to, through the program, I set myself a goal of 30-pound loss. And that was to not just lose whatever I could lose, but it was to not ever put it back on. That was more important to me than losing the weight, because you could go to Slimmer's World and say at the end of a program, look what I've done, and then go and gorge on cake and crisps and beer or whatever afterwards, and you've really in life you've not actually benefited one jot, not a bit. I think at the time, the 12 weeks ago when Christian asked me that question, it was like everything's good, no issues in family life, whether it be relationship with spouse, relationship with family. But 12 weeks forward, when you actually are more energized, there's been a lot of wins. And my son has, maybe it's been on my feeling, but my son, having now, he's realized how much weight I've lost. He said, maybe we can do what we did, years ago, Dad. Maybe we can kick the ball about at the park in the summer when I'm off university. Where maybe we can go out for that 30-mile cycle that you're now doing, that we did years ago, but haven't done for many years. And he wants to not just go for a family cycle, he wants to go and have a really good 30-mile exercise session. And I maybe wasn't able to fulfill that a number of years ago, but now 30 miles is where I've got to, and I'm not struggling with that. So therefore, yeah, bring it on, let's go and do some exercise together. So there's different aspects of the life, whether it be through spouse, whether it be through children, that I feel more energized. Saturday mornings to me, where I've had a hard week, I'll just maybe lie in bed, have a bit of tea and toast, and just that's my time. For the last 12 weeks, my time has been from 9 till 12 on a Saturday morning, cycling and exercising, because the children have flown the nest. So therefore, it's about what changes are you going to make, Stuart? The big change I made was to actually go and kick the backside out of 6 miles on a Saturday morning, of which, through gentle nudging by Christian, we got to 9 to 12 to 15. And we ended up at the programme at 30, which was what I did last Saturday morning. Cycling now is enjoyment, whereas to me, cycling has always been exercise. It's always been a chore. Now I can enjoy the scenery. I really enjoy going out and, choosing different routes, and yeah, it's fun. That's the bit that I never ever saw before with cycling. Had I not taken this step with Christian, I feel that I would have done the same things. I would have believed I was putting the right things in place. And what I mean by that is that on a Monday to Friday, I would basically, because I was working, I would have a bowl of cereal. And because I had a bowl of cereal during the week, that meant that I justified having a cooked breakfast on a Saturday morning. What I didn't appreciate was that the bowl of cereal and the amount of cereal, the quantity, and the milk and the big glass of orange juice. Only when you actually started to monitor that, what calories I'd had, I had no right to a Saturday morning fry-up, because I'd used a hell of a lot of calories midweek that I didn't think I'd used up. And therefore, for the last 12 weeks, I think I've had one fry-up in the last 12 weeks. And that's been deliberate because it was like I need to earn that. And one of the things I've learned was that we stuck to 1920 calories was the daily. And in my early days of the program, it was, I don't care how I make those calories up, but if I want to have a beer, if I want to have crisps, if I want to have that, as long as I don't exceed 1920, I'm good. And that was my mantra. As we went through the program, I learned a lot, and we've now really changed the balance of protein and fats and carbs. But at the outset, to me, I was probably maybe having 2,500 or 3,000 calories a day without knowing it. And it's only through monitoring now, and I'm going, how the hell am I going to stay under 1900? When I didn't monitor it, there's no danger I was under 2,500 calories. Just because when I actually looked back and realised that a bacon roll with 6 rashers and a glass of orange for breakfast was 1,000 calories, and I'd used up my daily intake in breakfast. So to me, that was unacceptable. Had to change. I've learned a lot through this program, and I don't just mean in terms of nutrition. But what I said to Christian at the start was that in weeks 1 and 2, I was really asking for guidance. I was asking about breakfast. I was talking about porridge with water as opposed to porridge with a shed load of milk. I talked about having water instead of having fresh orange juice. So I changed those wins within the first couple of weeks, but I needed that guidance. And I referred to Christian as being driving the car, and that I was the co-pilot in weeks 1 and 2. But from weeks 3, I decided that I was going to drive the car and I was going to be in charge of my own destiny. And a few weeks ago, I said to Christian, I need to let you know that I'm still driving the car, but you're now at the back. It's almost like dealing with your children. You know, I'm driving children, I've got this. You just buckle up. And that's how I felt in the program, was that not to say that his gentle nudges weren't useful, but I needed to take ownership and not blame anyone if this didn't go well after 12 weeks. One of the things that I really took out of the program was mindset. And that, to me, the mindset was of the nutrition and the exercise, and the mindset, to me, the mindset was that I was strongest in. Because before, I would make choices. My wife would come home at night with a couple of muffins or a couple of donuts, and it'd be like, we'll have them. And the choice was, we'll have the muffins before our tea, or after our tea, or with our supper. That was the decision. Whereas my decision now, when I looked at the box and realised it was 410 calories, my decision was, am I having it or am I not? So my mindset led me to change my decisions from what they had been as a habit. I was going to eat that muffin at some point in the evening. Now I was choosing whether to eat it or whether not. And that's led to not only me making better choices, but my wife has now lost weight. She's now cycling, she's now swimming. And therefore she's getting benefit out of the program as much as I am. And to me, the mindset bit was that if I got the mindset right, then beyond the 12 weeks, 12 months, 12 years, I'll be making good decisions. So there has been a lot of changes, and the program has led me to understand that all of these aspects come together to get to the result you wanted. I would never have got there with the habits that I had before that I believed were good. Having cereal or things like that, it was really important to change. So at the outset, how was Christian? He was on board. He was willing to help, and he basically set things at the right level for what I was needing at that point in time. I just didn't know that I needed them. In the first call that we had, he mentioned something about the 3 pigs analogy. And the 3 pigs analogy was about building the right foundation. With Christian, he showed me that building this foundation was the right thing for me. It was the right program for me. And therefore, Christian has been quietly motivational in getting me through this program, and for me to then take the steps to do my own exercise. Christian, to me, has helped me to, maybe in a simple phrase, he's probably helped me to extend my life expectancy. I feel happier. I feel that it was the right choice for me. Sometimes in life you need to invest in yourself, and that's what we've done here. Definitely, with speaking to other people, I would definitely recommend that they take this on board.